Hi, my name is Xavier Reynolds. I'm a fragrance reviewer known as the Magnificent X, and I have a video for all of you today that I think will be a real treat. Today, I'm going to cover 5 fragrances that I think are overhated in the fragrance community. Note again, not overrated, overhated. Yes, these are fragrances that I've known and come to have grown and I have enjoyed in my fragrance journey, to say the least. Okay, so let me start off with an honorable mention. I'm sure a lot of you know this in the fragrance community. It is Dior Homme Parfum. What you get is a deep, darker, and slightly more mysterious take of the legendary Dior Homme Intense. Very masculine, projects beat, and lasts a very long time. I used to hate this scent, but now I have come to love it. Great for bitter cold days. So all of you, I'm pretty sure a lot of you in the fragrance community know this, so I'm not going to go too far in depth with it. So there's my honorable mention. My first fragrance comes from the house of Terry Mugler. It is from the Angel Men lineup, and it is known as Pure Leather. In case you have smelled the original Angel Men and not this, pretend the original Angel Men was a freshly brewed cup of roasted coffee, spiked with tar, topped with a chocolate fudge brownie, along with a patchouli leaf. Now, with Pure Leather, picture that same cup of freshly brewed coffee with less tar, and also topped with a slightly synthetic horse's saddle leather. So that's what you get with this. A lot of people in the fragrance community bash this, saying that this is not well balanced, that it's not as wearable as the original Amen, when really it's kind of the opposite, especially in the dry down, where you kind of get the peppermint at the very base. So great scent, and I really like it a lot. Amen Pure Leather coming in at my first listing. Second listing comes from the house of Jacques Bogart. It's a fragrance that I've mentioned in a previous video of mine, and it is none other than Bogart Pour Homme. What you get with Bogart Pour Homme is a sweet, slightly soapy cherry fragrance with some vanilla, a bit of patchouli, along with a touch of tobacco as well. This fragrance has been noted, and this is true, especially by Shaven on the Dark Side, to be more of a barbershop fragrance with a touch of rose. Now, when I say barbershop fragrances, I don't mean a Zaro Pour Homme type of barbershop, but kind of more of a shaving cream type of feel, especially with the heaviness of this scent. Now, I will say a lot of people argue that this fragrance is very sweet, which it is, and also very synthetic. Now, only one of those facts are actually true. It is very sweet, but to like this scent, to say the least, you have to be a very sophisticated individual or have a very sophisticated taste in fragrances to enjoy this fragrance. So Bogart Pour Homme is at my second listing. My third listing comes from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, and it is none other than La Nuit de l'Homme L'Intense. What this fragrance is a sweet, clean vanilla and tonka, which is the DNA reminiscent to the original La Nuit de l'Homme, added with a soft, gentle floral note of iris. Now, a lot of people in the fragrance community bash this scent and say that it's not intense, especially with the performance of this scent, which is typical of most Yves Saint Laurent fragrances. But it is intense, however, of the fact that it's sweeter than the original. So you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt, as you will. So La Nuit de l'Homme Intense coming in at the third listing. Next fragrance also comes from the house of YSL. It is none other than La Nuit de l'Homme Les Parfums. Now, I did get this from George, the Fragrance Apprentice's review of his top 10 winter fragrances of 2016, and he is right for one part. This fragrance kind of is like smelling a soapy vetiver mixed with chocolate fudge brownies, which does sound like a bit of an odd combination, but for the most part, what this is kind of a more note dimmed down and slightly more floral version of La Nuit. Not necessarily as sweet as La Nuit de l'Homme Intense, but a little more floral, especially with the labdanum, and a little bit more spicier, especially with the anise note. Now, quick sidebar, before you all, especially you young guys, go out and blind buy this, let me tell you that this fragrance, or that this flanker of La Nuit de l'Homme is not for everybody. If you're expecting the same smell of the eau de toilette but stronger in this, you're sadly looking in the wrong direction. What this is a more classier take, or a more grown-up take of the eau de toilette. Like I said, with the notes a little bit more dimmed down. So I would say for the most part that Les Parfums isn't quite as vibrant as the eau de toilette. So La Nuit de l'Homme Les Parfums coming in at my fourth listing. My last but not least fragrance in this list is a fragrance from the house of Paco Rabanne. It is part of the 1 Million series. No, I am not talking about the original or 1 Million Privé. I am referring to 1 Million Absolutely Gold. I'll see if you can see that. This is I have to say, is the pure perfume concentration flanker of the original 1 Million. And boy, I have to say, what a great scent, especially for black tie events. Absolutely Gold is a fresher, more floral, and more of a classier take of the original 1 Million. To sum it at the least, think of this as the grandfather of the 1 Million flankers. What you get is the sparkling and sweet opening of the mandarin. Now, you get kind of the same bubblegummy vibe of the original 1 Million, but how this differs from the original 1 Million is that there are some floral notes in the heart that kind of tones the sweetness back from being overly sickeningly sweet. You get that along with the florals in the heart, and along with the leather accord, the gentle leather accord at the very base of the fragrance. 1 Million Absolutely Gold, I must say, everyone, is one of the most underrated flankers in the fragrance community. Often gets eclipsed by the original along with 1 Million Privé. So that's it, guys. That is my list of 5 fragrances that I think are overhated. Let me know what you think of these fragrances down in the comments section. Do you like them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? And also let me know what fragrances you think are overhated in the fragrance community. So that's it for me, guys. I'm Xavier the Magnificent X, telling you all to be safe, take care, smell great, and have a magnificent day. Peace.